like I said, we have to talk. I feel like a lot of things that Black people don't do is don't talk. We hold these emotions in. We expect the other person to know what we're feeling. We expect them to understand what we feel. We expect them to know our background, to know what we expecting. But if you're not communicating, how are we gonna know? If you expect this based off your backstory and I don't know your backstory, and then you feel like I'm failing you, but you didn't even give me a chance to succeed by not telling me what you need.
Everyone good?
That mean rolling on.
All right, bet. What's going on, everybody? This is the Real Example Podcast, Think, Relate, Explore Podcast, also known as the TRX Podcast. And we here with the usual suspects, Marcus.
Why I gotta be a suspect?
Don't do this today.
I'm a grown man.
TJ. And the lovely one who got me onto podcast to begin with. Without her, there wouldn't be a TRX Podcast. Aungelique. Go ahead and speak to the people. Go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself. Camera right there.
Well, my name is Aungelique. I go by Aungey for short. I am 24. I graduated from Georgia Southern May 2018 with a bachelor's in multimedia communications and a minor in public relations.
Wow. Shout out to the Black excellence in the room right now.
Oh, yes.
All my homies got degrees and I love it.
Now,
now we can get educated.
So, primarily, what do you think is one thing that us dudes get wrong about feminism, femininity, all that woman talk and stuff we got going on?
I think I think the thing that we kind of men associate with femininity is trying to associate certain traits. You know, so especially in a household, what do you view as who's supposed to wash the dishes? Who's supposed to do the chores? Who's supposed to clean up, wash the clothes? All these different things kind of come into a part, especially into a marriage. Like, what roles do you take in a marriage?
You think that's
so? Do you expect your wife to wash all the clothes, to wash the dishes?
I used to.
Okay, so what's your view now?
I mean, I think our minds have just elevated now. We done grew up now because you know, back then we just thought the man was supposed to hold it down, like, and our mom was supposed to do everything at home, like wash clothes, clean up, make the dinner, everything. But now I don't want nobody to like do stuff for me like that. Like, I can do it on my own. So right now I'm thinking like, you know, it's kind of like an even 50-50 thing, you know. You do our own thing. You do your thing, I'm gonna do mine, you know. We can look out as far as we want to for each other, but we should still know, you know, what we got going on. So like, I still know how to cook. I should know how to clean. I should know how to do the normal things that normal people should know how to do.
Right.
Yeah. Take care of yourself, bro. Like, no, I don't have a second mom. You're my wife or you my girl or something like that. So you're supposed to like, we supposed to coagulate, you know, make, you know, we're supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're supposed to work together, bro. Like, no, I'm not gonna have you doing all the hard work. That's kind of fucked up and selfish to me. But that's my take on it, you know. I don't want to look like, I don't want to be the ugly guy.
Honestly, I'll take it a step further. So I have a question for you. So if the man was in a situation, because I feel like, what if my wife likes cutting grass and she likes being in the yard? Like, that's her thing.
Right.
And I'm cooking and I'm doing laundry. Is that something that you feel like is okay, or do you feel like that's actually breaking kind of?
No, I'm definitely open to that. So I feel like a marriage is 50-50. And that can be split any way. So if I'm okay with being out in the yard, cutting the grass, and you're okay with covering the other half of what's necessary by, you know, feeding the kids or washing clothes, doing the dishes, I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, it's still being split 50-50. And I think that's what's important in a marriage.
But I don't see my wife.
Okay, yeah, no,
I don't got my wife.
In your example, that would work, but that's not me. Like, I don't want to be out cutting the grass. But I'm saying, like, in a general though, like, that's how it would work. But for me, it's just more so. Why you had to throw it down like that?
Because he wasn't going to get away with that.
I
was going to walk.
Okay.
Whatever. But, yeah. I think it just should be split 50-50. So.
Do you feel like a man will be looked down upon if, like, those roles are switched to that degree?
Not necessarily, because I feel like the main thing is it depends on how we view it. Like, I'm not really big on outside opinions. What works for us, what works for us. So anybody else who has an opinion who's outside of our marriage doesn't matter. So as long as it works for us, we're good.
As far as the grass cutting thing, I feel like that's the same thing as like
I don't want to
having my girl open the door. I'm like, have my girl touch a door if we're going to a restaurant.
That's what I'm
like,
saying. Is
I'm
it
not
on
gonna
that
have you outside in the hot sun cutting this grass and weeding
But
too.
now, to be
riding
fair
lawnmower?
though, my grandmother cuts grass. Like when it was my grandmother and my grandfather, she cut the grass.
But is she pushing the lawn more?
Yes, she will get out there and she would push. But my grandfather was the type where he worked hard, he brought home the check, and he gave the check to her. And he said, okay, this is the check, you pay the bills, and she would give her she would give him whatever was left. Like, okay, this is your spending money, but all the bills are taken care of. But that's all that was needed.
That's crazy to me.
She would get out there and push it.
Yeah.
That's a different, because you would think we normally think with like progressive marriages was we never thought it was like our grandparents back in the day. But I think if you talk to them, I think it was a lot more balanced. I think we got a hyperpolarized situation where it's like, these are manly things, these are women things. And if it don't fall, then if it don't fall into a manly or feminine category, then it's ambiguous. What's the word? Ambiguous. And that's where you get caught up. Because I think, man, like Marcus said, my woman ain't gonna hold no door for me.
Ever.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a slippery
extreme
slope,
level.
though, right?
Yeah.
Because her cutting grass doesn't mean she has to hold the door for you. But at the same time, in your head,
I don't know. If your girl's outside cutting the grass,
processing
she's
the
the
same
man.
way.
But what if she prefers cutting the grass? Is that a problem?
No, you cannot cut the grass.
So wait, so even if she prefers, like even if she grew up, like my dad has taught me how to, ride a lawnmower. Like technically I could if I wanted to.
In certain situations, that's only because your dad had all girls, something like that. It'll
Yeah,
be a
he
situation
did.
where he had all girls. So
He
yeah.
did.
So yeah, of course you had to learn how to cut the grass stuff like. But no, you have a man in the house now. I'm gonna take care of shit like that.
You gonna let your wife change the oil in your car?
Oh no. No. I much rather go pay to get my oil changed.
Do you know how to do it yourself?
Yeah, I know how to change the oil.
What if she was like, no, I got that.
No. What are you doing? Why are you turning wrenches? What are you doing?
Bro, what's crazy is there's a lot of females who, or women I should say, who are all focused about their cars. They have quote unquote masculine hobbies. Like there's one girl I know, like we was talking about cars and she was talking about something. She got the turbocharged, dual piston. I was like,
Bring her on the show because I don't know any woman like that. All women get in their car. All women I know get in the car and as long as that bitch crank up, they go.
Okay, I leave. I gotta check the oil.
They don't get the oil changed.
I know how to check the oil. That's it though.
You know how to check the oil.
I know how to check the oil.
She know how to
That's
check
it.
the oil. If the oil low, she's still gonna go drive. She's still gonna drive that bitch wherever
I'm
she
gonna take it to the
goes.
dealership and I'm like, I need an oil change.
so
What's going on?
is femininity defined by like hobbies and interests? Because if a female UFC fighter, a female UFC fighter, UFC is a very male-dominated thing.
It is.
Can she be a feminine woman and still participate and be dominant in that? Because a lot of people think about Serena Williams, for example. A lot of dudes don't find her feminine, but she's the definition of a woman.
She is.
So let's talk about that. Let's unpack that.
That's tough.
Because we're not gonna lie, like I can't remember who Ronda Rousey's like husband is, but everybody swore he was like getting his shit thrown.
Is that time out? Is that the train?
Yeah, it snuck up on us.
Time out on the train.
He was real subtle with it though. Like,
He's going like 20 miles per hour. He's
All
going
right.
like 20 miles per hour.
so go ahead, TJ. We talking about Ronda Rousey's husband?
Yeah, I think when she got married, I know a lot of people were just like, she's definitely like dominating that whole. I didn't really look into it because I don't look at celebrities like that, but I thought about it and I was like, dang, like UFC, like I don't know what he does, but I was like, that might be
I think her
true
husband-
just from the characteristics that she might have carried over from her sport.
I might be wrong, but I think her husband is like a fighter too.
I feel like he would have to be.
he's not as big as a fighter as she is.
Why would he have to
but
be though?
Just to understand what she's going through.
I'm not gonna lie.
On a regular basis, because I feel like, and I saw this with like bodybuilding, right? So I have a manager, I'm a manager at the gym, and one of the other managers, she's a bodybuilder. She likes other guys that are into that because when you prep for it, like bodybuilding preps, or if you think like fasting just to like make a beach trip is hard, imagine being like, okay, 12 weeks, rice, broccoli, and now I'm gonna take the rice out and I'm just gonna have broccoli and chicken. Like it's very, very extreme. And she was saying most guys that aren't in the sport, like when she starts to cut up and stuff like that, that's not how she is on a regular basis. But regular guys just don't understand that's just a phase for the show. So I feel like everything that she goes through to prep for that, for fights and stuff like that, it'd be hard to get it. Like you see it on TV and you're like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but she's living it day in and day out. I feel like the relatability is just gonna be a lot higher if she dates somebody in her industry when it comes to something that's that extreme. That's just my personal.
I just know I couldn't be in the house with a woman who could beat my ass potentially.
That's how a lot of guys feel.
You know, there's nothing wrong with the UFC fighting women, but I cannot go to sleep every night knowing if I say something wrong to you or if I didn't take out the trash, you might roundhouse kick me into next week. That's not going for me, bro. I'm sorry, it's not happening. So you know, I don't know.
I don't know if that's so much like a feminine, masculine thing. I just like, is that a safety and trust thing? You feel me? Like, that to me is like, if I trust my wife, like, and she's a martial artist or she's really good with guns or weapons, and she's meant to be my wife, and I trust her, that's not an issue.
I'm gonna say there's a chance you're gonna run into that.
Yeah, trust only goes so far because you're gonna piss her off that one day. She's gonna be so pissed to the point where she's gonna feel like she's gonna have to fire off on your ass.
But think about it like this: even if she couldn't fight, you couldn't do anything back regardless.
That's facts.
It's just gonna hurt more.
It's not gonna hurt more. It's gonna be more embarrassing.
There's more precision.
She's gonna knock your ass out because she know how to hit you. So. I don't know. Do you want to take that chance of your homeboys knowing? Yeah, my wife just knocked my ass out. I don't think I'm going for that, bro. I'd much rather just get slapped or something, you know.
Oh man,
with that, you know, I'm gonna keep that out of the toxic realm. I don't want to get beat at all in a relationship.
No, not at all, man. But we gonna hold for this.
We gonna.
I told you said it too early. He's like, it's strange where you feel like you need to do that.
I feel like he's rude.
Very much.
He is rude, bro. I gotta call the city for that.
All right.
Somebody get a phone call.
So let's revisit that. So we talked about like Serena Williams, Ronda Rousey. A lot of people at some point in time didn't consider them feminine. So what is femininity? Because feminism, as it's been branded by Twitter and social media, is the anti-man movement. And like I did some research. Feminism isn't about that.
It's not about that at all.
Feminism is about embracing what a true woman is. Like we talked about the definition of a woman. We talked about the definition of a man: gentle, thorough. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of his family. Feminism is now what's it called? The absence of feminism isn't a woman acting like a man. Because a lot of people are like, woman is out there going and get it, going being assertive, doing this and the third. I'm like, that's cool, but that can still be feminine. Like you saying I'm being a feminist doesn't mean you have to be anti-male. And I don't think that conversation is had. I think it's just I'm a feminist because I hate men because I got dogged out in the past. And that's a lot of hate and pain going out projected as feminism. You feel me?
And that's not it.
Yeah,
But well, now what is your? Did she already give did you already give a clear definition of what it is, or what you feel it was, or?
I don't really know. I feel like as I get older, I'm really starting to explore the definition of feminism. So it's really trying to see, and I feel like as you encounter different men or different relationships or even different friendships, you'll kind of learn how each person has a different perspective of what they view roles in a relationship, things like that. So I feel like my overall general gist of feminism is just traits that people associate as a woman trait, but technically it shouldn't be associated with a woman. It shouldn't be associated with a female, because at the end of the day, like, it can go for anybody. Like I said, washing dishes, cleaning clothes, or anything like that, that can be associated with any gender. And I feel like the biggest perception is that this is a woman's trait. This is what a woman is supposed to do. But in 2020, I feel like our generation, we have broadened that spectrum. We have we looked at our grandparents, we looked at our parents, and we have these certain ideals, but when we meet a certain person, that those ideas, they expand. We learn what works for us and we learn what doesn't, and that's important to move on. But at the end of the day, I feel like as long as it's 50-50, as long as you're happy and your partner is happy, whatever balance you have is all that matters.
I like that.
I'll be damned.
So, going on to what a lot of people think is controversial. A lot of people think this is controversial. If I'm going out, me and you, Aungie, we're going out. The check comes.
Here we go.
In this new age, there's this almost like this oxymoronic thing of where men should pay for the check, but in an equal opportunity world, in a world where we're supposed to be seen as equal, a woman can pay for the check too.
It depends on the background for me.
It depends on the background. Okay.
If you ask me out and you're pursuing me, I expect you to pay for the check. Now, if we're just friends and we're just kicking in, you're like, oh, hey, are you free? Let's meet up here. I can split the check 50-50. But if you're pursuing me and you're coming after me, this is your time to show me what you got. So I expect you to take care of the check. But at the end of the day, like, no matter what goes on, my mom has always taught me to be able to hold your own. So if you can't afford it, I'm gonna pay for what I want. If I want a steak, I'm gonna get a steak, but I'm gonna be able to pay for it as well. But my whole perception is, if you're pursuing me and you're courting me, that's what it is. I have, to a certain extent, I have very traditional views just based off my grandparents. But like I said, like, it depends on the backstory.
How you feeling about that, Tokes? Would you let a woman pay for your meal?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Why not? I mean, if you want to. Oh yeah, my nigga. That's how we do it. But no, it's like, I don't see it like that. Of course, if I ask you out, I'm gonna pay for the meal. If I want to do something with you, I'm gonna pay for it. But if we want to go, if we're in a relationship and you want to go out, you're asking me to go out, something like that, and then we just out, and I pull out my wallet and you say, nah,
Right.
that. Go for it. I'm not even gonna argue with
See,
you.
I feel like that's a difference, though. I feel like when you're courting me, I feel like there's a difference. When you're courting me and you're trying to get me to pursue you, this is your time to show me, what you have. So at that point, yeah, it's on you. But once I'm in a relationship and I feel like we're 50-50, almost definitely, like, if you're my boyfriend or you're my husband, oh yeah, I'm gonna take you out, babe. Let's go here, and I'm gonna pay for it. But there's a certain point when you're courting somebody that you're putting your all in to get that equal effort eventually.
You trying to show what you got, man? So
Exactly. But yeah, in a relationship, I'm definitely, babe, let's go here. I'm going to the movies. Let's go.
I'm be like, yes, ma'am. And I'm gonna sit down and do everything gracefully. Please pay for it, because I need to be treated just like you do.
Period,
We should feel important just like they should.
That's important, yeah.
See, talk to him, man. Talk
All
to
right,
him.
so I'm gonna come with it.
Always be devil's advocate.
No, for real. I really think there's a difference between like casual dating and commitment dating.
Okay.
And I think you have to let your intentions be known up front of what you're trying to do. If it's to date towards marriage or a long-term commitment, then 100% I feel like, I should go ahead and cover the check. If it's casual dating, we're kind of just, we're talking, but we both don't know where it's going to really go, or maybe we're just friends at that point, then it's like, whoever wants to cover it can cover it. But I feel like you really got to let people know your intentions. That's 100% going to keep you from getting in them blurred lines.
We done talked about this plenty of times. Some blurred lines.
Blurred lines, man. I'm trying to tell you.
So another blurred line we about to address is, if you make more than your man, do you still respect him as if he were to make more than you?
Hold on, because I want my woman to make more money than me too.
Oh,
Really?
Hey, but it doesn't. But I'm gonna have a bag. Like
Right.
my bag is gonna be immaculate. So I'm gonna need you to have more money than me.
But you still prefer her to have more money than you.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, just because if I ever go down, in our profession, in our industry, as entrepreneurs, something might happen. Some shit might go wrong. Who knows what might happen. I need you to know. I need to know that we in a 50-50 partnership, 50-50 relationship. You can hold it down if I ever go down bad. Like I'm gonna definitely take care of my funds. Make sure that we're gonna be straight. But I just need to know. I need to have that security in my mind, even if I'm not straight. Like she's gonna be even better than me. If it comes down, she gonna be straight regardless. Like she can hold it down for the family, hold it down for me whenever we down and out. So that's how I look at it as far as just why I would want her to make more than me. But also that's like just a turn on. Like damn. She really going out here and getting the bag, because women are not given the same bag as us, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie, men are just off the rip for any job. Like we're just gonna get the higher salary from women. So if she out here making more of a bag, and I'm like, damn, she really went out here and like went to go get it. Like I love go getters, bro. So that's what I want, bro. That's what I'm expecting. Once I'm on top like that.
Okay. Auntie, how you feeling?
I mean, to each his own. I feel like I've learned that there are a lot of people who have my same perspective as far as like my traditional views and all these things. And what he was saying as far as like his woman making more than him, that's understandable. I feel like a woman can make equal as you and still be able to cover you no matter what. So it doesn't really matter what she makes, it doesn't matter how she prioritizes. So it's like she can make whatever amount, and then if you fall short, she still got you because she knows in the back of her mind how to make her money, how to save her money, how to prioritize. Right. So it's just like, I don't really want to put a cap on whether she makes less, whether she makes equal, whether she makes more, because at the end of the day, it's like, it's up to her to prioritize. So if you fall short, she got you no matter what, because in the back of her mind, she's saving. So it's like, she like, okay, he fell short, I got money in the savings, let's put this through.
Right.
We good as a family.
Thanks.
Okay. For me, wait, restate the question, because I was listening to that. They're both going in. I got lost in the songs, bro.
I said, so, you know what I'm saying? A lot of days now, women make more than men. And was that okay in your relationship if your woman makes more than you? Because a lot of people take issue with that. You know what I mean?
I don't want my man to make more than me. Let me just say that, but go ahead.
Honestly, I can't say that it too much matters to me. But much like how Toe said, like, I've thought about this as an entrepreneur. I don't know if I want to marry another entrepreneur, especially if both of our fields are hectic, like, and they're seasonal. And we can't, I don't want us to be seasonal in the same, like, time. Like, okay, we both gonna hit a drought between, like, fall to winter.
Right.
And we're both, like, because then that really changes how you have to do finances and stuff like that. But nah, I can't really say that I care, man, honestly. Because I'm secure enough in myself that I'm still gonna be a man. As long as she still respects me. And then,
Oh, let's not get
It is what
twisted.
it
I
is.
wouldn't, let's not do that. Let's not do that. No, okay, just because I want her to make. If I make more than her, I'm not gonna be, that's not.
No, but I'm
So
saying,
would you
like,
date
once you
another
respect her or something,
entrepreneur,
yeah,
though?
Would I date an entrepreneur?
Yeah, who's in the same boat as you, who could have, like he said, very seasonal times, just like you.
in the same field?
Yeah.
It just depends. In the same field, I don't know. 'cause
Oh,
like
would
I
you
said, they're all
prefer
in
somebody who's
season.
more secure in a stable, maybe corporate life job?
That's tough. I kind of wanted that at one point.
That's tough.
I kind of wanted that
tough.
at one point. but
Because
then-
I mean,
I
at
don't
the end
know.
of the day, I want a woman who kind of like this. I want her to have more than one stream of income as well too. So
Most
have
that's
overtime,
important.
have a business on the side, do something. Just
Yeah.
have more than just one thing, because one could cut off whenever. We don't know
Most
how this
definitely.
gonna go,
Yeah.
especially with shit like COVID happening, bro. Nobody knew that shit was gonna happen. So shit, you gotta have your fallback plans, bro. So I hope she got 3 or 4 different incomes.
I feel that.
And if she's not making more than me, that is cool. But I just would want her to make more than me.
True.
But if you're not, that's not gonna throw you
I
out.
can't say
man.
I'm seeking it.
I'm not, you know what I'm
mind
saying?
it.
I'm not
I'm
saying
pushing
my
it.
tax bracket is here and I need her to be here. Like,
I'm
it's not
saying.
that reverse gold digger thing.
If
going
I'm
on.
making $1 million a year, she need to make 1.3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how you
That's
feel.
a standard.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. 7 figures talk
That's
7
just-
figures.
that's how
I
you
feel
are.
that. I feel that.
You're going to be in that environment, so
Yeah.
What's up?
put you around different
Give me a
people. You're
check.
fine. Yeah, you do it.
You
mean-
sugar mama, bro.
Myself, I mean, you gotta relax.
I don't need a sugar mama in a million
Yeah,
years.
sugar mama, bro. Damn.
mean-
It's all good.
I don't mind it. It's just more so as long as there comes with no disrespect.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Ooh, now how do you
because I,
feel about
because I definitely can feel
We didn't
like,
hit on that.
because
So
I
you-
definitely feel like, like in an argument, imagine you would, you know what I'm saying, you chilling, she hit you with it, at least I can pay the rent by myself.
Damn.
Like, and that slide out your mouth.
Yikes.
Like as a man, as a person in general, you gonna feel some type
I can
of
only
way.
hear that once.
As a man,
I would leave.
as a
As
man,
soon as the
I
words
don't
broke
need-
come out your lips,
I'm
we are
leaving.
done.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
are
I can only
done.
hear that once.
So please.
And so that would be just like the line of which we tote. Like, just don't be disrespectful. You know what I mean? Because when stuff comes right, and I'm sitting healthy, I'm not gonna come at you disrespectful. So don't come at me disrespectful. At the same time, if we both eating good, that's fun. But it's not always we both gonna be eating good.
Well, that's why you gotta know who you're dealing with too, because I would never
Yeah.
deal with nobody who even thinks they're gonna disrespect me in any type of way like that. So
Yeah, but I think a lot of times now, because we have a lot more outspoken women who feel the need to let that be known. Like, hey, broke boy, you don't qualify. Like,
I
bro,
think that's something you get hit with in the middle of an argument.
Bro, like,
you don't even
what-
know they got that in them too.
you never ever.
because bro, you think because a lot of the rhetoric is like you don't qualify. Like for men or women, you don't qualify because you don't make a certain tax bracket. For the longest time, it's been I'm a man, I make it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm holding down, pay all the bills.
Yeah. And now women are coming with that same energy, and there's definitely an influx thing when dudes are like, so you only want me for my money? And it's like, nah, we talk about this often. Your environment creates what you want to be around. If you're not in that same environment, then we're not just not gonna click. Like TJ talked about, bodybuilders want to be with bodybuilders. Rich people want to be with rich people. Or people who have the potential to be rich and actually show fruits of doing so. No one wants to pour their money into a drain. People will definitely pour their money into something where they can build. And that's where you see that biggest thing is. And we can have a whole other thing about potential dreams and all that other topics. But for right now, I think for that men and women polarity, I think women have the right to say,
They do.
I want my man to make more. And men have the right to say, I don't have a problem with making less. As long, like we said, ain't no disrespect.
Yeah.
I think it's in those extremes though, because think about the same thing with the bodybuilding example. That's like the extreme of fitness, right?
Yeah.
And so like when it comes to money, like if we're just talking like 6 figures, I think it's respectable for a woman to say, hey, like you should be making more than me, because that's like obtainable, readily attainable. But like 7 figures beyond, then it's kind of like, all right, now you're hitting some extremes that the average American's not hitting. So. And then you gotta kind of stay around your people in your tax bracket. If you have that view, you're gonna have to stay in your tax bracket.
That conversation's gotta be had, because if Rihanna pull up on you, like, what you supposed to say to Rihanna? What you supposed to say to women who got that type
not
of
even
bread?
be in the same room.
Yeah,
like,
we're in the same room.
That's a different bag, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a different bag.
So I think that definitely speaks on it. I think that's one thing that needs to be talked about. And then one thing that's considered feminine is a man who's staying at home and taking care of his kids.
Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac. The Bernie Mac show.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if your wife is out there being the breadwinner, you just at home with the kids. You know what I mean? That was how.
I'm not finna be no stay-at-home
Man,
dad.
he talking to America, bro.
I'm not finna be no stay-at-home dad. I don't know how y'all feel about that. Stay-at-home dads.
I would get bored. And that
Get
would
bored.
Just really...
Will you not feel like? Are you gonna feel like a man? You're at home.
Nah. Yeah.
You're at home
I ain't
changing
gonna
pampers,
cap.
cause I
I
mean
ain't
there's
gonna
nothing
cap.
wrong with that, but you ain't got no income for you. You just letting your wife bring in all the chips
Nah,
for you.
I can't even cap that.
That's
one.
wild.
That one you slide.
Auntie, could you look like that?
Nope. Nope.
Right to the point where he gotta go out with his boys, you gotta give him allowance.
No, see, no.
Hey honey, can I get a $300 tonight?
I heard a
You're winning
situation
the
like
cigar bar.
this before, but I
See,
ain't
no,
gonna
that's
drop no
a-
names,
no.
but-
I'm not
allowance?
to the whole stay-at-home dad allowance. That's not.
Your son then. She can call you grandson. Like what?
Sonny boy.
Hey, little sonny boy, you want some money? Hell no. Hell no.
Put the limit at 250 tonight.
I mean, shit, if I'm gonna be sitting at home, I'm gonna have some type of, I'm gonna be selling books
You gotta
off
be going
Amazon or
crazy,
something
man.
now. I need some type of money coming in.
They trading something.
I feel that.
I wanna know how y'all feel about, I was gonna ask how you feel. How you feel about, as far as bills? So, how you feel, what do you feel about the bill situation? Like, should the man be paying all the bills when he comes
Okay.
it out,
So let me just preface it with this. I do have very traditional views. I've looked at like how my grandparents pay bills and how my parents pay bills, and that really has affected how I view my marriage in the future. So how I want it to be, or how I've seen it done in generations, is I expect my man to pay the mortgage and all the necessity bills. Mortgage, electricity, water, anything that puts a shelter over our head. You are the head of the household. I expect you to provide as the head of the household. As a woman or as your equal, I want to pay for all of the minor bills like cable, groceries, anything for the kids. So that's how my mom has always done it. So my dad has provided the roof over our head. Anything I needed when I was in competitive cheerleading, when I did softball, when I did all these things, my mom always had me. So I feel like as a man, you provide. You pay for the mortgage, you do all those things. And as a woman, I take care of groceries. Like I said, I take care of the kids. Me personally, I want 4 kids. It's a lot. And I feel like that's going to add up. But like I said, when it comes to me taking care of the kids, taking care of the groceries, I don't really know how much of a perspective that puts it in, or percentage-wise, whether, that'll end up being 50-50 or 60-40 or even 70-30.
4 kids, that's probably gonna end up about 50-50.
Right, that's how I see it, and that's how I want it to be in a sense. But I still want my man to be able to say, I pay the mortgage, I put the roof over our head, I provide for our family, and I got the kids, I got the family, I make the house the home.
That's real.
See, because now it's just seen as most women I see, I'm a man who's on Twitter all the time. So most women that, I see on Twitter, they say, oh, if my nigga not paying all the bills, I don't want him.
I'm not gonna say all the bills, like I said.
I feel you, I guess. I feel you. But it just sounds like you want a dad around. You want your dad.
Well, that's an episode for another. You touched on something there. But I definitely can see how that thought process makes sense.
That was the best answer. Though.
Yeah,
like,
really,
That's
like-
what I was been looking for. Cause that's how my house is. I don't know about y'all household, but that's how mine is. Like my pops take care of all the big boy bills. My mom do the cable. Just little shit like that. She paid for us do football and
Right,
us do
exactly.
sports. All the little shit in the house. Because the woman's supposed to hold it down. I'm a provide, and then the wife's just gonna hold it down. I'm gonna hold down the crib. While you doing your thing, and that's how it should be looked at. from everybody. But you know, it's just that city girl mentality now.
Not the city.
Not the city girl.
It's been pissing me off these days. Where a nigga got to do everything, and I want your money, and then I'm gonna leave when I want to. That's for another episode too.
That's definitely for
another episode.
Yeah.
I sound a little hurt, huh? It's all right. I sound a little hurt. A smidge hurt.
Go ahead and hydrate while we go ahead and transition. So, one thing that I think is understated, I think one thing that is just kind of thrown over, there's feminism, and you have black feminism and black women pride. How do you feel as of now with everything that we have going on, especially with Black Lives Matter? You see the lines of black women, you see the lines of black men, and how do you feel like as a black woman in today's society, how do you feel like you're viewed? And how do you think us as black men could come and help that viewpoint?
I think it is tough as black women because I feel like we're always on the front line for black men. Like me, I'm going to marry a black man, like period. Like that's what I want. That's what I'm going to have. I prefer, or I am going to have a black man. But I feel like in today's society, black women, we get a lot of backlash. And I feel like black men aren't always so quick to help us as we are for black men. Like you see black women on the front line, like especially when it comes to police brutality and all these different things, we are on the front line. Like in May or March, I was out there marching downtown for black men. But I feel like when you see the lives of black women, you do get a diverse background that are there for them. But I feel like black women go so much harder for black men than they do for us. And that can kind of hurt sometimes. Like, it's a little sting, you know? It's just like, damn, like I got your back, where's my back? So I feel like, now that's not all men. I'm not one of the people who's like, oh, you know, all men are this or all men are that. There are definitely black men who are out here supporting black women. Most def. But I do feel like there is a little bit of a difference between the support that we have for black men versus black women when we're out in the field.
And how do you think that overlays to the general, like, black men and black women, like, I don't even know what to call it, social structure that we have now? It seems like we're at war more than we're supposed to be making a house together.
And that's the problem, because I feel like a lot of outside opinions, a lot of outside perspectives kind of narrate that. So as far as outsiders can see that black men aren't supporting black women as they should, and that creates the indifference between us. Because it's like, okay, these outsiders can see that you aren't supporting me. So that makes me want to go harder as to why you aren't supporting me. If I can support you, why aren't you supporting me?
You see a lot of black women are loud today as far as just
We're very vocal when it comes to things.
We're not fucking with y'all right now.
Yeah.
'Cause y'all fucking it up. And I hate to see that too, because it's just some bullshit. Because I feel like, you know, from what I've been seeing lately, it's a trend of just black women just bashing the black man now.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I don't like that.
yeah, and you see a lot of it. Like I said, I'm the one on Twitter all day, so that's just all I see. Like. So I gotta look at this, and some of it be funny to where I be retweeting. It's like, damn, at the end of the day, really, black women feel like we not shit no more, bro.
I feel like we've abandoned
There
it.
are certain women who out there, like I said, I don't have that narrative where I never say all men aren't shit or black men aren't shit. That's never my narrative. I believe there are some men out here, but not even on some race, like just men in general. Some of them aren't shit. But that's because like of a lot of backstories and a lot of their things that they grew up with. But I've never been the person to put that on every single individual black man that I meet. So I know that there are several men out here who do what they're supposed to do, who stand by their woman, who support their woman in every single way. But like I said, it is sometimes hard when you see so many men who don't step up to the plate. It's just like, damn. But in the back of my mind, I always know there are I'm gonna say not very few, but there are men out there who support their woman like they're supposed to. So it just depends on finding the right one.
There you go. I feel like as a black man, like I don't really, like I've always seen my mom, always taking care of my mom, always seen black women, always thought we was taking that, you know what I'm saying, we was doing as much as was necessary. And then you start doing research and realize how many blind spots there are in our own communities. And I was just figuring out, like, just wanted to like kind of air that out because there's feminism and then there's black feminism. Like there's masculinity and then there's black masculinity. And so I wanted to kind of unpack that amongst ourselves and kind of wrap that up and talk about like how we can kind of embed it, how we can make that black femininity, the black masculinity talk or culture a better thing. Because right now, like you say, it's jokes, but then when it comes down to us actually mobilizing and getting stuff done, we have casualties that are black women, like Torrion. She's marching out for us. She ends up getting sexually harassed and dies in the ditch. She's fighting for us.
Yeah.
But that's supposed to be a point of unity. You can't have unity if you still got people in your own thing shooting against you. And then we ain't gonna talk about the whole black GSU, all black Georgia colleges getting exposed and finding out that partners and like people was like walking lines that you didn't even think was necessary. So what do y'all think as a whole, as black people, black men, black women, what can we do to go ahead and try to push forward positive femininity and positive masculinity?
I mean, I definitely don't have all the answers to this,
Yeah.
but I think it will probably start with us taking control of the narrative. Kind of like you were saying, we let too many outside influences dictate what we do across our culture, like in every aspect, whether it's what we buy, what we wear, what we're doing on a regular basis. Our perception is being created not by black people, you know what I'm saying? So we need to take control of our heritage, actually learn our heritage and take control of our narrative in our own communities. I think that would be the only way we can really start to dig ourselves out of this ditch. Because I mean, if you have a single parent household and it's a woman, right, then they can actually get more aid from the man not being in the house. So typically, like, what households does that usually fall in? Like, black men will get arrested, and women can get aid, you know what I'm saying? So it's more advantageous for her to be by herself than a guy that may be trying to get better and maybe trying to get on top of his game, but he went to jail, so now he can't get a job and stuff like that. And so when you look into situations like that, where the government is kind of like backdooring us into these situations and we're allowing it to happen to a degree, then we're always going to be fighting an uphill battle. So we got to take control of ourselves first as a culture.
Yeah. So,
How you feel, Raymond? I'm sorry I had to ask Raymond because Raymond really looked like he wanted to chime in.
Raymond, I really want to say something.
Raymond looked like he got some shit to say.
Nah, man, it's very much what TJ said. It's about controlling the narrative. I think is the biggest thing, because that how you think is how you act. How you act is what you perceive and what sends out to the world and to everybody else. So if you can change, if we can take control of that, that I think will help push it forward in a positive way. Because we can't, if we let outside influences like dictate it, the system is set up for us to stay under. So if you can't change your own self and change your own mind and how you think, you can't change how we collectively think as a whole to push policies and push narratives that will help benefit us in the end. So.
And these outside influences are, well, I hope we all know they are the other, right? We are talking about the other.
we're talking about this in general.
In general.
Okay. But you know, I'm not saying just specifically, just one other,
Right.
but you know, just the other.
You gotta think about it.
Anybody outside.
BET is owned by who? Viacom. Viacom is what?
Real white.
I'm saying, man.
I think black people just gotta come back to a point with men and women. We just gotta come back to loving each other, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of black hate out here, bro. Where's the black love again, bro? If we, because at the end of the day, we all we got to. You don't see any other races like putting each other down. Like,
But that's like a
within their race.
narrative
You don't
thing
see
too.
But that's what they wanted
Think
to
about
do.
it.
that. Are you right?
Like black on black crime. Like when's the last time you heard white on white crime?
You don't.
You don't hear it, but it's there.
It's
Exactly.
there.
It's
They
most
might put it
definitely
up
there.
in
They put it
small
in our
fine
face.
print in the
Yeah,
newspaper,
exactly.
but we blast it over the news.
Exactly.
Can I just say something about that though? Black on black crime is a myth.
It is.
When I say
It
black,
is.
it's
Facts.
So
not
there's
a
crime
thing.
on each
It's
ethnicity.
proximity crime.
100%.
The white on white crime is a thing. Latino crime. It because
You're around that.
You're
That's what
around
they
that all
feel.
the time. So like that phrase again, controlling the narrative.
Right.
That is not a thing. It's something that was created by the other to make it seem like we are more of the aggressors. We're more dangerous. We're more violent. Historically, we all know that is not the truth. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
What's up?
So yeah, I think everyone hit on some really good points. I think controlling the narrative is huge, and just thinking about how you contribute to the narrative is one thing. Because I be thinking about, that's why I really stopped getting active on Twitter, because me liking, me retweeting how I'm feeling at a certain point, you are contributing to the narrative, but you're not stopping against the landslide. You just came into it. Like I remember J. Cole being one of my favorite rappers, and he had said something to No Name because they was talking about who was being more woke. It was like a woke contest, and legit, the conversation went from how do we stop our black women and children and men from getting killed to who was more in the right, No Name or Cole. and it was just like that. It happened so quickly, and I was like,
That shit did
anything.
that shit did happen so fast, bro.
it happened so quickly that the whole the movement lost steam, except for the people who are in the streets every day. And I just feel like we have to redefine what Black femininity and Black masculinity is. Not only out.
Y'all can't hear that, but they doing some bullshit outside the door.
Not only just in generally on like media, but around ourselves. Like if you got a partner who's not holding the bar up when it comes down to his family and his kids, you gotta hold them accountable. One thing I realized that the older generation did a little bit better than we did is hold each other accountable. Now, granted, I'm not really sure why that is, but both Black men and Black women be like, you foul. Correct that. And they used to just do it off the strength. Like your grandma wasn't playing no BS, and neither was grandma's aunties, and so they used to just check each other off the strength.
You check somebody now, they're in their feelings.
Exactly. And I
you
feel
don't
like
fuck with me the way you supposed to. You know about yourself.
yeah. So I think ultimately we just got to work to redefine it and have more conversations where we can talk about why do you feel a certain way and stop attacking people. Because one thing I heard from one of these old cats I was talking to, he's like, are you talking to respond or are you talking to understand? So if you're talking and trying to listen to respond, you don't even care what that person's saying because you're trying to formulate a response to destroy what that person's saying. Are you listening to understand? And I feel like more people listen to understand, man, I feel like a lot of the pain that we got in our community could get alleviated. But you just gotta be willing to listen to understand and just shut up. And so I think we can go ahead and close it out. Talk about as far as like femininity, Aungey. What is Black femininity to you, and what do you think you could talk to the people as far as what they should do to help that out?
I think the biggest thing, like TJ said, is really controlling the narrative. Like when it comes to Black femininity, is also when it comes to, male masculinity. Like you said, it's controlling that narrative. Is understanding what the other person needs from you. It's understanding what is needed. So, I'm trying to think the best way to explain it. It's just understanding. Like I said, we have to talk. I feel like a lot of things that Black people don't do is we don't talk. We hold these emotions in. We expect the other person to know what we're feeling. We expect them to understand what we feel. We expect them to know our background, to know what we expecting. But if you're not communicating, how are we gonna know? If you expect this based off your backstory and I don't know your backstory, and then you feel like I'm failing you, but you didn't even give me a chance to succeed by not telling me what you need.
Talk your shit.
So I mean, I feel like we just have to communicate more, and that's the thing that's hard for us. Like we hold back emotions because I expect you to know this because we're Black. We're all Black. We kind of have this similar backstory. We all kind of know what to expect. But that's different. Like every Black story is still different in a sense. So it's still important as an adult to communicate what you need. And I feel like we kind of lose sight of that, and that kind of disconnects us from it all.
Ooh-wee. That was
Spicy.
Hot. Woo, it's hot.
ooh-wee. Your closing remarks,
Bring that thing
Marcus,
in.
man.
Bring that thing in. She was talking her shit today. It's talking shit Tuesdays.
All right, TJ, got anything else
You
before I
did the
close
thing,
out?
man. Yeah. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, so, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, man.
We about to close this episode out. It's been the real example. Aungey has been a wonderful guest. She will definitely be back.
We didn't get through spades at all.
Oh, we got.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I feel like it's on me, but I wasn't really
It's
sure.
a great conversation.
This 3 has been sitting on this table for the last 35 minutes. I ain't
I
playing
thought
with
it
y'all.
was
no more.
All right, man.
I ain't playing with
It was
y'all.
a great
Thank
conversation.
y'all for tapping in, tuning in, all that. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, get you some Cindy Sin.
Hit that notification bell.
You gotta do that. You gotta do that.
Ding, ding, ding.
And,
100%.
and for all of those who feel a certain way about feminism, masculinity, anyway, please let us know in the comment section.
I'm saying, drop some comments.
Drop some comments.
Need
Let us
that.
know how you feel, because, like we said, we got to change that narrative. And we can't change the narrative by holding it all inside.
What's that song we were just listening to?
One more time.
All right.